All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a live for you guys. I should be able, hopefully, depending on how my schedule goes, I might get this one and another one later. I absolutely have a client call this evening, but it's outside my normal window. But I have something I may or may not have to get done this early afternoon, still kind of waiting. So I don't know what's up with that and what I'm going to have for my schedule. So I thought, let's get a live stream after the workout before we eat. I may eat a little sooner than noon. We'll see. All right, we'll see how that goes as far as getting everything squeezed in. But I thought, what the heck? Let's get in. Let's get a late morning, lunchtime live and see what happens here, guys. All right. Did I make this public? I'm pretty sure I made it public. Yeah, we're definitely public. Nobody's in here yet. Well, we'll see what happens. All right. We'll see what happens in here. All right. Right. People said they were getting the alert for the coffee chat and last night, so that it is kicking them out since I'm doing just less overall content. These lives are getting the notifications. One guy says he gets an email every time. It's like, man, well, that's kind of Johnny on the spot. All right, that's Johnny on the spot. So what I may also do here is do another post while I'm waiting. While we are waiting, I'll do a post. All right, while we get a few people in and we get some conversations and topics happening. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get this post up and come back and see if we got comments. What's up, Defiant? Hey, Jason in the chat. Hope everything is good. Just finished my hour walk. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm just doing a post, Defiant, because I'm waiting for people to get in here. So I thought, what the heck? Let's go ahead and get our, one of my morning posts up that I need. But it looks like we're starting to finally get people in. So hit that like, appreciate it, camera. Appreciate it, guys. I'll be back and forth just a moment doing some posts while I talk to you guys. I'm going to get a big Facebook group post up for my fitness stuff. But yeah, stuff's productive. I thought I had a thing with a client call that might be canceled, but it's not. So I got to do that this evening on top of everything. So it's going to end up being a pretty productive day. It's like a returning client who I didn't think was going to come back. I thought they changed their mind. They're wanting to get a call and get a game plan tonight. So they're going to come back anyways. It's one that I had kind of thought in my rotation they were out permanently, and it looks like they're not. They had talked about maybe getting a package. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I'm trying to get a few lives in and get some other busy stuff done. Yeah. So how you guys doing, man? How are you guys doing? Make sure I got everything set correctly on these posts. I think we're good. So need to make sure they go to groups, though. And I don't want to overlap groups. Let's see, Jim. All right, let me get back over to you guys. How are we doing in here? Everybody good? All right, we got a couple likes. We got people chiming in. So, Cameron, what do you have going on to find? How'd that walk go, man? Let's get some conversations. I figured let's try to get one of these in just because I don't know how my afternoon's going to fully pan out yet for my schedule. There's an hour or two that might be filled in mine between, up till that call. I have a call at 6:00 my time, 7 hours from now. I wanted to make sure that I get at least one live in. Maybe we'll get the second one, but chat with my people here. But yeah, hopefully that client situation goes through, which again, all good stuff, man. Like I wasn't even banking on it, but looks like it's probably going to. So what about you guys? I had a good workout. The vlog is up. Apparently I miscounted my reps. Someone else said, wait, that was 18. And then someone else counted them in the short and said that wasn't 17, that was 18 reps on that bench set. But I mean, they were pretty much paused. So that was my thing. I wanted them to be paused that time. And I counted 17 when I was doing it, but you guys know how that stuff burns like hell, right? It burns like hell when you're doing that many reps. But I know that I need more tricep. So I did a bunch of band press down at the beginning. There's always a balance between that though of am I overtraining the triceps? Am I overtraining those triceps or not? So yeah, it was 18. Yeah, Marcinio, it was 18. I counted 17 when I was doing it, but my chest was burning so hard that probably made me lose count. Start losing count, bros. Is the government shutdown affecting you, all the stores? No, dude, I've had no negatives at all. All right. Hasn't affected me in any way. None of my clients have said it's affecting them. It's not affected my life in any way. I don't personally know anybody it's affected. All right. Not that I know of. I don't have any current active duty clients in the military, so don't know what's up with any of that in their pay. So that's it's not affecting me at all, dude. Because like I've said, unless they can balance the budget, they should just leave it shut down. I mean, if they can't balance the budget, just leave it closed and forever. Like if they can't balance their budget, they don't need to be open for business. Done. And then eventually just replace them. I've been saying that for a long time. We need to get rid of all politicians in Congress and the Senate if they can't balance our budget every year. They shouldn't be running that 40 trillion deficit up anymore. Just done. And I want Trump to follow through on that. Everyone making 150,000 or less pays no income tax. Yeah, pitchforks and torches. So it needs to ultimately be what happens. Right? Balance the budget. I mean, if we don't balance the budget, we're screwed, right? Jason, if you don't balance your budget, what happens? Your electric bill doesn't get paid, right? Your rent, your house note doesn't get paid. You don't balance your budget. So they need to balance it. Right. Laura says, evening, friends, if no impact with government shutdown, it really questions what value they're providing in the first place. Outside of welfare benefits in the military, were they providing any value? Yeah. Good day, big bros. Jason trying to help a coach friend. He's trying to make his way. Is it best practice to have clients pay before booking consultations or keeps getting burned by clients no show? Dude, they pay. They pay ahead of time. I absolutely do not book a consultation until after they've paid. Ever. I don't take client applications. So if you apply until you pay that fee, I don't even schedule a call. This is how you weed out the time wasters. And I know people in person who do the same thing. Bro, I know a girl. Oh my God. I know a girl who is a coach. Straight up. You ready for this? Before she used to charge for those, she started enacting that policy the same way. She had a guy who booked to do a client intake, and when he met with her, he said, really, I just thought you were really attractive in the gym, and I just wanted to ask you out on a date, and I figured me getting in and applying for you to train me would be a good time for me to be face to face with you and ask you if you'd like to go out to dinner. It didn't go well. She had a boyfriend, and he wasted her time. You imagine if you're a full-time trainer that somebody pulled that? Right? Mind you, she wasn't even single. She had a boyfriend. So she said from that point forward, she required money up front to even book the consultation. And I've always done it that way. Yeah, they have to pay ahead of time before you even schedule it. They pay, then you determine an exact time slot. Jay says, thoughts on Bussy? Here's my thoughts on Bussy. Kapow! And you're out of here with your pervert weirdo question. Get out of here. We don't need that. All right. Has a client tried to pay with anything besides cash, like favors or goods? Tried to, or have people offered? Because they're not a client yet. So you're talking a client means that they're already a client. Or are you asking me, have people tried to apply and ask? Yes, absolutely. And I've turned it down every time. Are women coaches good for men? They can be. I know women who are powerlifting coaches who successfully coach men. If I find a pull down on the handles on the SSB squat, I can lift more weight. So is that defeating the purpose of them? No, dude. The pulling down is actually what we want for the desired training effect. Most people push up because they can cheat. So that's rather interesting. No, I mean, that's technically a good sign. That doesn't defeat it at all. It reinforces what you're trying to do with it. Imagine being a bureaucrat now, right? Man, I'm telling you, with them lockdowns, how they are. I'm sorry, the government shutdown. That's the lockdown we needed, right? Instead of the Rona lockdowns, we should have had a government shutdown. You know, just saying. They destroyed our economies with that stuff. Whether it was the right or wrong thing to do for health or not, look what it did to the economy. People are still suffering. Look at what the whole thing did to the economy. And that's where people say, well, you know, you shouldn't be putting that first. You should be putting the health. Okay, but now look at the after effects. I would say to the same people who said that, don't cry about it now. I know people who said that, who now they're struggling financially, who made that statement. I'm like, but you were happy with that. So why are you crying? You said back then it was worth it. So what are you bitching about? You can't have it both ways. You can't say, well, you can't put the economy before the health of people on this one at all. You know, you need to suck it up and live with it. Well, then you need to suck it up and live with it. Now, I'm sorry that you're homeless as a result of this, but hey, homie, you said it was worth it. So what are you crying about? You told everybody back then. I remember you saying it on Facebook, dude. I remember. What's the problem then? You should be happy. All right. So Yeah, I mean, it was a mess, and I don't hold the same conspiracies that a lot of people have on it. I saw it as a money grab more than anything else. Not a let's hurt the popular. I didn't buy into that conspiracy, but it was clearly a big money grab. A lot of it. It was a good excuse, man, to do some stuff to shuffle some money around, get some big contracts, capitalize on it, and there was a wealth redistribution based around it, right? Not in favor of the working class either. Just saying. And that was at the global level. The largest, yeah. I mean, that was a redistribution of wealth from the working class into the hands of rich people over a super flu. And the shot is the most profitable. Look how much money they made on it. This is about money. The whole thing was about money from start to finish. Not saying it wasn't a bad virus, not saying people didn't die. Right? But we've had epidemics. We've had far worse epidemics. Far, far worse. And I think the issue was we ignored everyone who didn't toe the party line. The problem is, and it's not a case of I hate the stupid line, it's trust the science. We didn't trust the science. We shut down opposition. Do you guys know that there was a guy, one of the doctors who opposed the lockdowns, won a Nobel Prize in viruses? He was whitewashed, shut down by the media. All his social media was shut off and deleted. He was canceled. A Nobel Prize winner in virology, when all that was started, got up and said, we do not need to do these lockdowns. It's the worst thing we could do. He's like, I propose the opposite. He got canceled. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about science, I don't know, man. I think Nobel Prize winners in that area, we should probably pay attention to what they're saying if we're going to listen to science. You know what he was saying? We need to open up and we need to make sure that children are exposed to the virus so that we develop herd immunity as quickly as possible. So when this is why I get pissed when people say the stupid line, making fun of trust the science. Well, no, had we trusted the science, we didn't trust the science. We didn't listen to all the scientists. We picked one thing and ran with it. And all the other leading experts who disagreed, we shut them up. Yeah, John Leonidas, yeah. But all I'm saying is when you literally have a Nobel Prize winner in virology saying, hey, this is not the right strategy, you clearly didn't trust the science. He's like, hey, hold up, wait a minute. No, we don't need to lock down. That's a really bad idea. He actually said you're going to raise the death toll by doing that. So why didn't we trust the science? I don't know, man. I think he might have known what he was talking about. He did get a Nobel Prize. He did have a Nobel Prize in the area. He's probably a pretty smart dude. He might have known what he was talking about. Just maybe. Oh, man. Just saying, guys. So yeah, but COVID death toll was around 20 million in 4 years, by far the worst epidemic in post-industrial. And I'm not saying it wasn't bad. I wonder if the public will be quick to line up next time, or we actually think, I don't know, Vertebreaker. What's your opinion on weed, Coach? I choose not to partake. Not telling you how to live your life, because I don't see it as nearly as bad as that. I think alcohol is objectively worse by every metric. My thing with weed, I would say to guys, like anything else, though, step back and assess, is this hurting your productivity? Is this hurting your, and I think that's an individual call. I personally choose not to partake in it. I don't like mind altering substances as a general rule. I choose to be sober from alcohol. I choose not to partake in weed. I don't hold as nearly as negative a view of it as I do alcohol. I'm very anti-alcohol. But you know, my take on the weed, I would say to a lot of guys, you need to really assess. This is what you need to really assess. Is it impacting your motivation and productivity as a man? And that's an individual question that you have to answer for yourself, right? I know for me personally, I choose not to partake. I don't have a massive problem with it. I'm not one of those, oh, it's evil, horrible. I don't see it that way, but I personally choose not to do it. I have no interest in it. And it's also for that same reason. If I'm struggling with sleep, I just do melatonin, but otherwise it's all about sleep hygiene. Keep a cold, dark room, keep it cool, keep a fan on, keep it pitch black, pick an appropriate bedtime. I go to bed early, you know, as Benjamin Franklin said, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm usually in bed by 8 o'clock. You know, I go to bed early. All right, I'll back over to you guys. Luke says, I'm jealous. I've accepted as part of my job, but I have a lot of 24-hour shifts or just working overnight. But good blackout curtains and overall health definitely help with good sleep regardless, right? Vertebrae says, I think people quoting death numbers from Corona are falling for the narrative of someone who works in healthcare believe this. If you came in and died, any number of premorbidities, but all right, I remember that. Would you take consultations from international clients in the middle of the night? No, I schedule it a little different. No, Alan. I can usually find ones that work for them, though. Sometimes it's their early morning, sometimes it's their evening. I do international clients and consults all over the world. We can usually make it work with my sleep schedule. I rarely use any kind of medication or supplement for sleep aid. Yeah, they can help sometimes. The only one I ever mess with is melatonin. Coach, not only did you hit a 225 with 18 today, you did each rep with a longer pause than usual. Yeah, Joe, I didn't realize till after I counted 17, but then realized someone else put 18 and I went and counted. I'm like, dude, it was 18. Yeah, it was 18. So it's working, but I lost count. I counted 17 during the set, but my chest was burning pretty hard on that, especially after that 325 top end set. To back off into the 225 bench like that, my chest was on fire. Remember when Coach Greg recommended cough syrup? No, cough syrup, bros. Coach Greg also says an MRI is the gold standard for body fat measurement. It calls DEXA scans a DEXA scam. Yeah, that's ridiculous. DEXA scan is the gold standard, not the MRI. And I've seen a couple of people try to point out, well, you can cheat the DEXA scan. Not on the body fat, you can't. Yes, muscle hydration status, but you have to intentionally scam your own DEXA. Why would you pay $100 to do this? Yeah, turf and cough syrup. The splitting hairs between MRI and DEXA is like comparing Bianca Road with, yeah, exactly. But DEXA is a gold standard. Even if MRI was a few percent superior to DEXA, and it's not, it would be so stupidly wasteful and time consuming. Yep. Do you ever plan? Hey, Robert, I love that when you guys ask me that word plan. The answer is no. Now, is there a high probability I will eventually do so again? Yes. These are two different questions. So I went ahead and answered both questions. I answered the question that you asked, and I answered the question that you probably intended to ask. Fair? I love that word plan. Oh. Right. At this moment, I do not plan to do so, but there's about a 99% chance that I'll probably do it again. When is your race live ban lifted? I don't know. It's not telling me. It's just a bug right now, and it's on my profile and my page. So it's not a ban. It's just saying right now I temporarily can't do it. So it's like I overloaded it. I guess they felt it was spammy. Is your backlog of videos exhausted? No, I got like 60 of them. I have 60 videos not uploaded still. I just haven't bothered because I feel like they're not helping right now. They're not really getting views. They're not helping the channel grow. They're hurting the live stream alerts going out. We're not to recommend hydrocodone on tablets. You just know people are going to accidentally get codeine, promethazine, or yeah. Why are we needing stuff this extreme for a sleep aid, though? Robert, it's an algorithm thing. So it's because I put out too much content. I don't feel like going into all the nuances of it, to be fair, but it's purely an algorithm situation. Right? The way YouTube interprets it is unlike other platforms. It limits the amount of stuff that it will send alerts out for. Right. But I don't feel like going into the finer details and theories and working theories on that. It's not worth it, other than to say I'm too spammy on this platform versus what their algorithm prefers. And we can leave it at that. Like Facebook that likes spammy, but other than my really long lives, were probably a bit much for them. Oh no, Robert, I know the Facebook thing. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, dude. That's again, I'm not going to discuss my business model or what's happening there. That's totally expected, not even a worry for me. Right. If you knew the history of the page, you'd understand, and that's okay. Not a big deal. All right. Cliff notes, I ran memes for a little while and the page went from 100,000 people to like 270,000, and I made a ridiculous, insane amount of money from it. And then I went back to doing pure fitness when that died off and they didn't like the memes. Like, it was a disgusting amount of money. So, like, you would hate me if I told you the number. You know? But yeah, they're also running a business. But then they throttled all the meme stuff. But it was good while it was good. So I picked up almost 200,000 followers for memes. So the fact that I'm still keeping a fitness following there, hey, I'm good. I just needed to get traction again over time, which is coming along. It's doing decent enough. But I have to keep on that particular trend of knowing what it's looking for in the algorithm. But it was totally worth it, like, in the short term. Like, the payoff was ludicrous. Well, I had 100,000 as a fitness page before any of that. I already had 100,000 followers. And then when they monetized me and I realized, oh man, I just cleared $1,000 in a month off YouTube or off Facebook, or 1,500 or something, just fitness stuff. Some of the memes really hit. I'm like, I wonder if I just go hard on the memes. And I did, and it kicked off, and some of them went viral. But no, I didn't become a millionaire. I'll be point blank, just straight up. I made $27,000 in 1 month. Direct deposited into my bank account. 1 month, 30 days. Was it worth it? Now it's just making the same money it was making before the memes. I'm early lost. And that was the peak. It still did really good for a little while. I'm going to go out on a limb and say and run an experiment. This was almost 3 years ago. I'm going to say that if you run a quick experiment and you make $27,000 on a minor online side venture in 1 month, that's 100% legal. It doesn't hurt anybody. Will we call that a successful side project? Marcinio, did I stutter? Did I say coaching? Did I say fitness? I said Facebook. According to the 1099, Facebook that month. I didn't say YouTube. I didn't say coaching. I said Facebook. And then it made 11,000 the next month. And then it tapered. It just dropped. Kapow! Let's just get rid of this Lance guy. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yep. It was $27,000 in 1 month. Yeah, they plugged the leak. But it's all good. I mean, it still is profitable. Like, it's not doing that sort of profitable. But here's the thing. their AI hasn't detected that I've got that sort of traffic once before, and I have a business account with them now. And yeah, I have talked with them in a call because I can actually call them because I have a business account. Ooh, Uncle Sam bent me over on that one. Hence, now do you guys see why I have such contempt for the IRS? Okay, context. You know that went on a 1099 miss, right? All of that. Do you guys see why I have such loathing for the IRS now? Does it make sense? How much of a cut do you think they took of that one? They took 40%. Yeah. Yeah. I do have a business, Robert. Are you a troll? I'm about to ban you. I'm going to go check your channel. You just made this a couple days ago. You suspect already. I technically do have a business. The problem is I can't do the Facebook off my business. They required me to do it under my social security number. So what am I supposed to do about it? All right. So what you gonna do? No, I mean, I have an LLC. I have a business already. Can't believe you guys don't know that. Come on. Jason Blaha. I am a business, guys. Here in the Netherlands, every euro you make past 70,000 is tax. Wow. Yeah, screw that. You guys need a Second Amendment. It sounds like time for you guys to viva la revolution. Right? That's all I'm saying. Can be very, very volatile. All right, guys. I think it's about time for Coach to get some lunch. So I'm going to roll out of here. Let me give you guys a bicep shot before we go. All right. Oh, Mount Bicephalus. We're out. Time to give. Done.